You know, I've been replaying older Mario Kart games as of lately, and I really remembered why I like this franchise so much. And the reason is plain simple. It's fun. That's it. So I figured I should rate the Mario Kart franchise from worst to best. Obviously, as I stated, all Mario Kart games are fun, so if a game you like ends up being the 10th spot on this list, it's alright, okay? It's just a list of 10 great games, because yes, believe it or not, even though the latest game in the franchise is named Mario Kart 8, there's actually more than 8 Mario Kart games. Hey, let's go. I'm Nico and this is my top 10 Mario Kart games. Remember when I told you that there were more than 8 games in the Mario Kart franchise? Well, that's because I was counting the arcade games like Mario Kart Arcade GP DX, which is my number 10 pick. Those arcade games are super fun and a little bit different from traditional Mario Kart games. I mean, the item boxes are item coin thingies, and the items you receive from them are not your typical red shells or bananas. For example, you can get a mallet and you can also get little propellers. This isn't typical. Those games are kind of fun, but sadly you gotta pay every time you want to race, and you control them with a wheel, which to me isn't as fun as a traditional controller, but that's all good. For what they are, these games are super fun. This next game is a handheld one for the Game Boy Advance. Mario Kart Super Circuit is a fun Mario Kart game really reminiscent of the Mario Kart game for the Super Nintendo. Heck, it even contains all the classic tracks from that game. To be fair, it's a really impressive game for the little handheld it's on, but I just couldn't really get into it. This is probably due to the fact that I played this game after playing Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart 7, which are far superior in my opinion. The controls for Super Circuit just seems, I don't know, clumsy to me. Or maybe I'm just bad, I don't know. Obviously, you've seen my number 10 pick, so this one should really look similar. It's because it's Mario Kart Arcade GP, the original one. This is the one I've played the most at my local arcade because that's the one they had. When I first discovered this arcade cabinet, I was really surprised because I didn't even know that an arcade Mario Kart game existed. I had no choice but to hop and play it. It's okay, I guess, just like Mario Kart Arcade GP DX, it's not made by Nintendo, it's made by Namco, so you can definitely see the difference in gameplay. That also cope with the fact that you can play as Pac-Man, that should maybe tell you Namco was involved. The tracks are really fun and the art style for the game is pretty good. If you see it at your local arcade, try it. Trust me, it's worth the $1, okay? I figure this next pick is going to be a little bit controversial for some. I decided to go with Mario Kart Wii at number 7. And it's not because I don't like this game, it's just because it's not amongst my favorite. I know it's the most selling Mario Kart game of all time, but that doesn't make it any better in my opinion. The Wii was a console made with the casual audience in mind, meaning that anyone should be able to play it without too much difficulty. And they did that right. The problem with this game is that they made it too random. I cannot even count the number of red shells, lightning bolts, green shell, bananas, blue shells I have received playing this game. Often, I would be first for all of the race, then at the exact moment at the final lap, I would get completely destroyed and end up finishing almost last. You know, I'm okay with the random Mario Kart effect, but Mario Kart Wii was way too random. If you won, it would often mean you were lucky and not that you were particularly good or anything. The first ever Mario Kart game is next on this list. Super Mario Kart is a classic. Sure, by today's standard it looks really outdated, but back then this was an amazing game. What I kind of forgot and realized as soon as I booted this game back up is the fact that you only play the game on half of the screen, the rest being dedicated to showing you the entire racetrack. Yup, even in single player mode. That's insane. What game could do that today? The game is full of fun tracks and introduced the very first ever Rainbow Road, which is a classic. This track even made a return in other Mario Kart games in the future. That's how good it was. The next entry in this list is Mario Kart 64. The first Mario Kart to be, well, in 3D. You know, not the 3D like the 3DS, but the 3D space thingy. You get the point? Okay. This game was amazing back then, and I spent so many hours playing it. I wanted all gold trophies on all cups. This was the first game in the franchise to introduce the mirror mode, where you play all the tracks but all reversed. This was crazy back then for me, you know, I thought I was done with the game, and then, what is that, extra mode? I was so hyped. To be honest with you, this Mario Kart game hasn't aged very well. The rubber banding AI is really obvious, meaning that if you manage to get a little far ahead, the computer players all get a sudden boost to catch up to you. It's really annoying and makes the game really harder and unfair, but hey, at the time, it was pretty dope. This is the game that made me want a Nintendo DS. Mario Kart DS was hyped as the first ever Mario Kart game to allow you to play online with random people all around the world. And get that, at the time this was something new for handheld games. Heck, Wi-Fi wasn't even around that much. I didn't have it at home back then, so I had to go close to the nearest Pizza Hut restaurant just to be able to play online. And it took forever to get a race going. The game was super fun at the time, giving you the ability to choose your car and your character, and to even add a little emblem thingy on it using the stylus and the touch screen. Sure, the snaking mechanic made everyone rage because it was overpowered and you had to do it to be competitive, but it was such a great game nonetheless. So, at the time, the last Mario Kart game I had played was Mario Kart Wii, and I told you how disappointing it was for me. But then, out of nowhere, a new Mario Kart game for the Nintendo 3DS, Mario Kart 7. And just like Mario Kart DS that made me want a DS, Mario Kart 7 made me want to get a Nintendo 3DS, which I did, and it was kind of still expensive at the time if I remember correctly. But let me tell you that it was worth it. This new Mario Kart game introduced the glider mechanic, which lets you glide off super big jumps, and it let you race underwater with the little propellers thingy. The online matchmaking system is pretty robust and works like a charm. It features so many cool new tracks and the return of original classic loved ones. The only thing this game lacked was more tracks that we could download. Mario Kart 8 made its debut on the Wii U, bringing with it wonderful HD visual for the first time in the series. To be honest, this game is pretty much Mario Kart 7 in HD. I mean, it brings back the gliding and underwater mechanics that we love from the last game, the controls are pretty similar and all that fun stuff. However, the game adds a brand new twist to it. This game is all about the gravity mechanic, meaning that you will race on walls, on ceilings, on pretty much anything. This can be disorienting for some at first, but the game never gets too confusing in my opinion. You always know where you're supposed to go, and just like the previous Mario Kart games, the only thing I wanted after beating it was more tracks. And well, I was really happy when they released 2 DLC packs, adding 16 more tracks to the whopping 32 there already were. Now that's a lot of tracks. This game is super addictive and I still play it from time to time, even though it was released a couple of years ago. That's how good it is. Well, here's my favorite Mario Kart game, Double Dash for the GameCube. I don't know what it is about this game, it's just really good to me. The game is really arcadey and fast-paced, bumping on a wall barely slows you down. The same thing applies with being attacked by a blue shell, and I guess this game captures the true Mario Kart spirit for me. It's not about the physics, it's not about how beautiful the tracks are, it's just about how the game plays. You need skills to be good. You also need a little bit of luck. You move at a crazy fast pace and you're always on the lookout for what can hit you from afar. You can play with another player in the same kart, something unique for a kart racing game, and it's just overall the game I had the most fun out of all the Mario Kart games, which is why it's my #1 pick. Hey, don't miss anything, click subscribe, and if you're super cool and want to go the extra mile, turn on notification. Alright, bye!